Hey, everybody, it's Carmela here, your favorite business coach, here to give you some tips and advice on day 2 of our 3 days together. So, make sure when you jump on that you say hello. I love to know where you're watching from because, we have people that tune in with us from all over the place. So it's really cool. It's really cool to connect with you no matter where you're from, but it's really cool to see it on the screen. I get excited. All right, so we're here. I'm just checking in, making sure I share into my groups, and then we're going to get started because it's your lunch break. Many of you watch and connecting with me on your lunch breaks, and I really appreciate your time. And listen, we can get a lot done in 15 minutes. I have my points already prepared for you on today, and we're going to be sharing 2 more letters of the acronym that we started on yesterday. So make sure you jump on and say hello. Hello, 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 hello. All right. Got it in there. And here we go. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for joining. Thank you so much for joining us on today. All right. Here we go. So I started on Monday, not Monday, on Wednesday, sharing with you my Dirty Feet acronym. And remember, the story about the dirty feet was that when the mama told the kids to take a bath at night, a lot of times kids don't want to, for fear or for whatever reason, they jump in and out of the tub really quickly. And so this particular mom would wait till they got in the bed, then she would go snatch the sheets up and check their feet. And if their feet were dirty, she knew they hadn't got in the tub that night. And so I wanted to relate that to us as CEOs because you got to get your feet dirty. A lot of times we compare ourselves and the beginning of our journey with somebody else's journey. So you've been in your business or you started your business and you've been working your business now for 6 months or maybe even 1 year, and you expect the same results for somebody that's been working their business consistently for 5 years. It's not a fair comparison. You're comparing apples and oranges, but you got to be willing to get your feet dirty. You got to be willing to put the time in. You got to be willing to put the work in. You got to be willing to be consistent. The D in dirty stands for daily engagement. You got to be willing to get dirty every day. You got to be willing to go out every single day, and make a difference in the lives of those people that you are called to serve. And when I say the people you're called to serve, that leads us right into today, because I believe that you have an ideal client. Who is your ideal client? Who is it you're trying to sell your product to? Who is it you're trying to sell your service to? Who is it you're trying to connect with? Who is your message for? So yesterday was daily engagement. And we talked about three things associated with daily engagement. That was your D. Today, we're going to start with the I. The I is interesting content. So as you make the shift from employee to CEO and you're shifting your mindset, because that's where it starts, you got to see yourself successful. And so the I stands for interesting content. Can you answer these questions? Are you developing your own content? Or are you Googling and YouTubing and restating things that other people have said? How are you developing your own original content for your ideal client to consume? It's so important that the people that you are speaking to know, like, and trust you, that they hear your voice, that they hear your ideas, that you are operating your business from a place of integrity, that you're not stealing content, but that you're developing content, and that if you use something from somebody else, that you do give them credit. As your client, here's another question I want to ask you. As your client, if I'm considering doing business with you, do I understand your language? Do I understand what it is you're saying? Or are you speaking industry jargon and you're over my head? Because there's been people that I wanted to do business with, but I really didn't understand what I was getting. I didn't understand what they were trying to say to me, because they were not speaking a language that I understood. Instead, they were speaking industry jargon and using industry terms that can be over the head of your client. So whether you are a blogger, whether you are a coach, whether you are an author, whether you're selling a product and you have to develop interesting ways to keep your customers engaged, we all have to develop content. If you're selling something on social media, you are developing content. And the thing is, are you being intentional about this content or are you being reckless? Because even when in the midst of all the heated politics that was going on, I wouldn't like, share, or post anything about it because I understand where I run my business from. And so you can have your political views, but just make sure that as you celebrate, that you don't isolate and separate your customers. You know what I'm saying? So you're putting content out there. Let me tell you what I mean. In the beginning, so the I stands for interesting content and the R stands for relatable. I'm going to stay because I was getting ready to shift. So interesting content. Number one, your content should connect with your ideal client. You should be speaking a language that I understand. Number two, your content should be simple and concise. I should be able to consume it and understand it and not have a whole lot of questions. You know what I'm saying? So like if somebody put something out there, you didn't even understand what the point was. If you are developing content for your customers, then they must be able to consume it, understand it, and apply it. And you want them to want more so that they can connect with you and then become a paying client. So that's the whole point of that free content that you're delivering, that you can connect with them in a way that they can get results immediately. And then they'll want to connect with you and work with you on another level. And then the third thing when it comes to content is you got to have a system in place to help you stay organized. Have you ever been going to bed at night and then you think of this great idea that you can do on tomorrow or the next few days, and you said, okay, I'm going to remember this tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and you don't remember what it was? You got to have a system in place. What is your system in place when you get an idea? When you see something, it could be a story on TV. It could be something that's trending in the news. How can you use it to work for you? You got to figure out how to use that content to make it work for you. And then the R stands for relatable to your audience. You got to be relatable. What's your story? This is the part where we miss it because everybody has a story. And as you begin to tell your story, your people can connect with you. The reason I like working with small business owners and helping them put their systems in place is because as a small business owner, when I first started 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, I didn't have somebody to help me save money and put systems in place. I had to learn it by trial and error. There was so much stuff that I gave away. For 18 months. I did everything for free because I had this hang up when it came to talking about money and charging. And so you can't build a business if you can't charge. You can't attract paying clients to you if you just want to be the cheapest, because everybody don't want to work with the cheapest because they feel like your product or your service is cheap. And so you got to figure out how to tell your story so you can connect with your audience. I connect with other entrepreneurs who are struggling with pricing. I connect with other entrepreneurs who feel like they're out there by themselves. I connect with other entrepreneurs that's ready to go from free to fee. Why? Because that is also my story. So you have to be relatable so the people can know, like, and trust you. In the beginning, all you got is what I say. So you're building that relationship with me based on the words that I say. But over time, you continue to watch me and you follow me on social media. And if the things that I'm liking, the things that I'm sharing, the things that I'm posting don't line up with the words that I'm saying, then you lose trust with me as an entrepreneur, as a coach. And so if I can't hold certain things confidential over here, then you're not going to want to connect with me as a business coach, because you know I wouldn't be able to hold things confidential over here. So people have to know you, like you, trust you. That's why you have to be so careful on social media? Somebody drop that in the comments. Know, like, and trust. Your people got to know, like, and trust you. You got to be so careful on social media that you're not doing what I call shade posts. And so when you're putting those shade posts out all the time. And so I can't really read you. I don't know if I can really trust you because you're always throwing off, right? And so you have to be real careful about that because your people are trying to see if they can trust you. So we got to know, like, and trust you as you move forward and we build this relationship together as an entrepreneur. Know, like, and trust. So the D stands for daily engagement. You got to know your secret to success, what we said about good intentions, and how you view things determine how you do things. That was on yesterday. That was day one. Today, we're talking about interesting content. How are you developing your content? How are you packaging your content? And you may be thinking, well, I'm not a coach. I don't need content. I'm just selling glasses. You still got content. You still have to have engagement posts. You still have to put those glasses out there. You still have to speak to why I need the glasses. You still have to tell me why I need to buy your glasses instead of somebody else's glasses. And if you have fashion glasses that cost a little bit more, why would I make the investment and pay more money for your glasses? So you still have to have content. That's the part where we miss it, y'all. We think, well, I don't have to have content. I'm not teaching a class. You are teaching us how to shop with you. You are sharing content to keep us coming back to your page so that we can shop with you. So you are putting out content. And then the R stands for being relatable to your audience. Don't be afraid to share your story. I was watching one young lady who sells a product, and on her product business page, she did a video on, she went and got her eyebrows, I think, microbladed. And so she was sharing it with her audience. And so after the experience, she came back and shared the experience with her audience. That is content. They came back because now they're invested in what it is she's doing, and they want to be a part of it. They want to see her grow, not just as an entrepreneur, but they want to know her as a person, as an individual. I watched another person on their business page. He wanted to upgrade his wife's ring. And so he was saying, everything that we sell over these next few days is going towards my wife's ring. And when he gave her the ring, he was live on the business page so that the people that had to help support what it was, his customers that were purchasing to help with this gift could see it in action. That is content. That is being relatable. So don't ever feel like this don't apply to me, because if you're selling anything, it does apply to you. You have to show up daily. You have to have interesting content. That means, why are we going to come back to your page day after day? And you have to be relatable. We can't just see you look like you arrived. How am I going to connect with somebody and it looks like that they have no problems, no issues, never went through anything, and just woke up one morning with a gold spoon in their mouth? I can't relate to that, but I can relate to like one of my uplines who is a single mom, a divorcee raising a son. I can relate to that. I've been there. And so it resonates with me. And so make sure that as you're being relatable, that you're not just only showing the good, that you take us on a journey with you. That's pretty much what I have for you today. Interesting content tips. So make sure on your pages, your business pages, you got to have content on there to make us want to come back. Share your story with us. Put posts on there that speak to us beyond you selling. Woohoo. Every post can't be a sales post. You should have a sales post. You should have a teaching post, and then you should have engagement posts so we can know you. We can get to know you, like you, trust you. I'll give you this last example and I'll be done. I have one young lady, she sells a product, and I know a lot of people that sell this product. This company has been around well over 30 years, but I only shop with her. If she's sick and can't get my stuff to me, I'm going to wait until she's well. Why? Because I know her, I like her, I trust her. I don't have to tell her what I need. She has my profile. She reaches out to me every 3 months when it's time for me to refill. I don't have to even tell her what I want. She knows what I need in my daily routine for that particular product. And so because we've built that relationship, I don't care how many people sell that same product. I don't care if one of my family members sell that product. I'm not switching because of the longevity, because of the time that we've invested, because I trust her as my consultant. And so when you build these relationships and you become relatable, those things are priceless. So don't forget to include content, things to make people come back to your page, and don't forget to be relatable. If you're a single mom working through some things, share that. Share the experience with your customers if it's relevant. Share the stories if it's relevant. There was a young lady, she was selling a product and her little boy was playing in the camera. Every time she turned around to get another product, he would lean in the camera and be like, ah. And we were like, at first I was mortified. I was like, oh my gosh, what is she going to do? How's she going to handle it? And she started turning red because she knew he was just all over the place. But then after watching for a few minutes, I noticed something. Her customers continued to comment in the comments and they continued to shop. They was like, girl, I got a son. Girl, I got children. My children will be the same way. Let me see so-and-so again. And that girl made a ton of money that night with her son jumping in and out the camera, hollering in the background. Why? Because the other mamas that was watching could relate. So stop trying to make everything perfect before you speak the language of your customers. Just be relatable and make sure your content is interesting. Y'all have a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow. We got one more day. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about time management. That's the T, and the Y stands for you. All right. You have a great day.